Once, in a small village nestled between rolling green hills, there lived a young man named Elias. Elias was known by everyone in the village as someone with big dreams. From the time he was a child, he would talk about leaving the village, traveling to distant lands, and achieving great things. His father, a humble carpenter, would often remind him that there was beauty in their simple life, but Elias could not shake the feeling that he was meant for something more. As Elias grew older, his ambition burned brighter. He spent his days working hard, saving every coin he could, and planning for the future. He read books about great explorers, inventors, and philosophers, dreaming of joining their ranks. But with every step he took toward his dreams, he felt a growing unease. The more he chased success, the more he wondered if he was missing something important: the peace of contentment. One evening, as the sun dipped below the hills, Elias sat by the river, lost in thought. An old man from the village, known simply as the Hermit, approached him. The Hermit was a quiet figure who lived alone in a small hut by the forest. Though he spoke little when he did, people listened. "You seem troubled," the Hermit said, sitting beside Elias. Elias sighed. "I want to achieve great things, but I also wonder if I should be happy with what I have. How do I balance ambition and contentment?" The Hermit smiled. "That is a question as old as the hills themselves. Let me tell you a story. Long ago there was a king who ruled a wealthy kingdom. He had everything a man could desire: gold, power, respect. Yet he was never satisfied. He always wanted more. One day, a wise traveler came to his court. The king, hoping to impress him, showed off his treasures. The traveler nodded politely, then asked, "Are you happy?" The king frowned. "I have everything. Why would I not be happy?" The traveler said nothing. Instead, he reached into his bag and pulled out a simple wooden cup. He handed it to the king. "This is my most prized possession. It reminds me that joy is not in having much, but in needing little." The king was confused. "This cup is worthless. What can I learn from it?" The traveler replied, "Ambition drives us forward, but contentment gives us peace. Without both, life is like a cart with one wheel. It cannot move smoothly." Elias listened carefully. "So you're saying I should not give up my dreams, but also learn to appreciate what I have?" The Hermit nodded. "Ambition is the fire that keeps you moving. Contentment is the water that keeps you from burning out. The key is not to choose one over the other, but to find the balance between them." "But how?" Elias asked. The Hermit stood and pointed to the river. "See how the water flows. It does not rush, nor does it stop. It moves steadily, finding its way around obstacles. That is how you must live, pursuing your goals without losing yourself in the chase. Take time to enjoy the journey, not just the destination." Elias thought about this for a long time. He realized that he had been so focused on the future that he had forgotten to live in the present. The next morning, he decided to make a change. He continued working toward his dreams, but he also began to appreciate the small joys around him: the laughter of his friends, the beauty of the sunrise, the satisfaction of a hard day's work. Years passed. Elias did leave the village, traveling far and wide. He faced challenges and triumphs, but he never forgot the lesson of the Hermit. He remained ambitious, always striving to improve, but he also carried contentment in his heart, knowing that happiness was not just in what he achieved, but in how he lived each day. One day he returned to the village as an old man himself. The children gathered around him, eager to hear his stories. Among them was a young boy with fiery ambition in his eyes, much like Elias had once been. The boy asked, "How did you become so successful?" Elias smiled. "By learning that success is not just about reaching the top of the mountain, but also enjoying the climb." And so the cycle continued. The story of ambition and contentment was passed down, reminding each generation that life is not a choice between dreaming and being happy, but a dance between the two. The end.